The news is out. We've got some fight news. Back out in a championship fight on the 14th of December, and we get another stamp on the boxing passport as we're back out in Monaco, which I've just learned is its own country, because I thought it was just France. I've been telling people I'm fighting in France. But we're out in Monaco, 10-round championship fight against Gary Cully, somebody who's been calling me out for years for the WBA Continental Lightweight title. It's good to be back on a Matchroom bill. It's been 2 years now since I've boxed on a Matchroom bill. The last one was Kid Galahad in September 2022. As you've seen from my other videos, been no animosity with me leaving Matchroom. I think it's a good fight for me at this time. You know, having lost to Zepeda, I've had a comeback fight, and now the back end of the year, finishing the year strong, winning a title, getting a world ranking, and you know, being in a fantastic position to push on for big fights next year. Gary's been seemingly asking for this fight for a while, and it's never been a fight that's made sense for me up until now. And let me explain why. First time we got mentioned and got linked to fight was in COVID, so that obviously cancelled all that. And then when we returned after COVID, it never got remade. We were both with MTK, but for some reason it never got remade. You know, I went on the run that I went on and became IBO world champion. And the second time was both further on in our career, both with Matchroom. But what I'd been told by Matchroom is, we're going to get you this life-changing fight, big fight, you've done so well, big fight's coming, life-changing money. And when it came to it, quote from Matchroom, sorry, all we can offer you right now is Gary Cully on an undercard, on Katie Taylor's undercard in Dublin. So it was a real crossroads moment for me in my career, you know. Stay comfortable, sign a new contract, a new 3-fight contract with Matchroom, and be my first fight over in Dublin against Gary, and not really gain out from beating him, or do I take the risk, go over to America and fight the big names? You know, at that time, my name was heavily linked to Ryan Garcia. I'd even had quite a few personal conversations with Ryan about that fight. So they were the kind of fights that was in my head and were what I wanted and was going to push my career the way I wanted it to. So I didn't believe that the only fight out there for me was Gary Cully on an undercard in Dublin. So if I'd have took that fight back then and gone to Dublin and beat him, I'd have gained absolutely nothing, because by me beating him, the chatter wouldn't have been about me setting the boxing world on fire. All the chatter would have been around, oh, Gary Cully's a hype job, which is funny because that's what happened anyway when Jose Felix did the same thing. So I backed myself to go and get another opportunity, you know, which is what happened. I got George Kambosos, former unified world champion, and headlined in America on a top rank show. And we all know what happened there, Mike. And obviously I believe I won that fight, and so does everybody who watched that fight, except George and his dad. And I still think off camera they'd say I won that fight. But, you know, my stock went up massively. I got to headline in America, name was all over the boxing world, and it led to another opportunity, you know, in a WBA and IBF final eliminator against one of the elites, William Zepeda, you know, and I've still got a lot of pride that after everything that I went through, I still went in there and fought him, but I got to headline in Las Vegas. So the reason this fight makes sense for me right now is there's a WBA Continental on the line, which means a world ranking. By getting this title, it puts me back up there. And there's also some options in the contract with Matchroom. As I've said, no animosity there in leaving. Be good to work with them again, and get some big fights next year. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Drop in the comments what you think about this fight. Stay tuned, because I'll be posting some, you know, training footage, behind the scenes, vlogs, all that kind of stuff. And let's head to the south of France.